I'm Andrew Warren, Howtobreakclays.com with an Acorn bolting rabbit. We've got a nice piece of grass in front of us. The trap is armed, is cocked and loaded with a rabbit clay in it. I've got the button in my hand, so on the call pull, there goes your first rabbit. It's travelled about 50 yards up the garden. We're slightly uphill. It's now cocked itself ready to go again. So on the call pull, there goes your next one up the garden. Acorn trap is slightly different to most rabbits in that it throws on the outer rib, not the real outside rim of the clay. So they are a little bit tricky to set up. This one's taken me a bit of time to get it back to where it should be, but it's now thrown some nice rabbits. So on the call pull, there goes another one. It's a simple mechanism underneath. I'll take the camera around and set it up from the other side. I'll throw one more and then I'll put the conversion plate on for the standard, and I'll show you how it works with standards. Trap is now set up with the standard plate fixed to the throwing arm. Allows you to throw standards. In my opinion, this is more reliable than throwing the proper rabbit clays. For one thing, they're lighter. And the second thing, the design of the arm is such that you are actually throwing on the drive rim of the target rather than the rabbits which you are throwing on the rib and not the outer rim. Might be a bit of a job to understand it if you don't really know the detail of traps, but this trap is now set up to throw a nice rolling rabbit with a standard. So on the call pull again, there you go, up the garden. You'll get a bit of a curl on the rabbit at the far end, but it's thrown nicely, and as I say, it is more reliable. One or two pinch points on the trap. It does need setting up. This one is now set up. It needs to be bolted down to the ground. It's a small footprint for a tall, heavy trap. That's why I've got the weight on the front. I can't actually bolt it down to the ground, but it needs to be on a pallet or a piece of concrete, and then it'll be fine. You've got a adjustment on the back so that the trap will lay back, so that the standards as they are now, you can throw looping clays as well. We've now got the trap laid on its back a little bit more. It's about halfway down. I don't know whether you'll see it on the camera, but when we pull the button on the trap, we should get a nice looping clay. There we go, it's a low looper. Armed and cocked itself ready to go again. And another one. That's a nice one. That's gone a little bit further than the rabbit. That is probably the best type of target that you can do with this trap. Nice and reliable with these standards. So here we go, another couple. One there. And again, now going to load. Arm itself. There we go. Trap has now got the guard off so that you can see underneath. It's got a reed switch. It's got the chain system to cock and drop through the clay, which is simple enough. The arm needs to be in the position it is now once it's thrown the clay. When you've thrown the clay, the arm should finish in that position to get the timing right for the clay to drop through. There's a cable operated iris to drop the bottom clay of the stack. The needle that goes between the first and second clays will possibly have to be realigned. Depending on which clays you're going to use. The stack is easy to load. It's sprung loaded so that you can drop the whole stack in the top and slide them down to the bottom. There's a handle been fitted on this one. It moved to the front when someone put it on a barra, and it's now moved to the back again. There's a switch, single switch for the operation. Down to turn it on, centre is off, lift the switch up to decock, which is what it is now. Spring is always under tension, but it's safe because it's held by the clutch bearing inside.